All right, we're live. I think we're live. Someone drop a comment and let me know if we are in fact live. Make sure I got this set up too. Awesome, we're on. All right, guys. So I figure we'll just hang. We'll just chill for maybe 5-10 minutes. Let anyone else that's coming, get here, get on with us as well. So if there's anything that you would like to know in the meantime, fire away, shoot me a question. I will be posting this will go up on YouTube afterwards as well, just so you know too, guys, that if we do these things going forward, we're going to be doing them both on YouTube and also in the Facebook group. So the Chase the Craft Facebook page, it'll be live in both places, whatever's easier for you. Thanks for the guys at Cask Strength for hooking me up and letting me know that StreamYard is a thing, because apparently this makes it a whole lot easier to do this sort of stuff. It's pretty freaking awesome. Who we got here? Oh, I see the Silver Fox Distillery crew. How's it going, guys? Congratulations on getting sorted, getting open. I hear you had an awesome open day, your first day. That's freaking cool. I'm very, very happy for you. For those of you that don't know, check them out on YouTube. They have their own YouTube channel. Went silent for a little while because legal things, and getting a distillery open and so on and so forth, but they're up and running again now. So yeah, check them out again. Peter, thanks for the congrats on the 50K, man. I don't know how the hell we got here. It's kind of crazy, but it's all thanks to you guys, man. And yeah, I'm honored, I'm humbled, and yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Big Ed's Guns. Hey, man. I know you were around since the beginning, weren't you, right, dude? I'm pretty sure you've been here since the Floating Head days. I see a few names that have been around for a long time as well. Any spoilers? What do we got here? Woo, I love this platform. Any spoilers on the new few videos coming up on the channel and new distilling recipes? Yeah, dude. So I'll explain a little bit more when there's a few more people around, but I haven't been distilling, obviously, for a while, and there is a reason for that. I think I'm up and running again. I think I am. I just went down to the hardware store and bought a few pieces to the puzzle. I think I'm going to be able to get stuck in literally this afternoon. I'm going to get off the stream. I'm going to fire the still up. That is the plan. What am I doing for that? Well, one of the guys that I brew with, you know, Matt. We made a beer together. It didn't work out so well. I thought it was pretty good, honestly, but his standards are super, super high. Shout out, Matt, if you're watching this at some other point in time. Yeah, he didn't like it so much, so we decided to run it through the still and see what happens. And I've seen a lot of other people talking about putting beer through a still and hop oils, and it's going to taste like crap and it's going to ruin the still, blah 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 blah. I thought, screw it, let's just try it and see what happens, because I'm a stubborn bugger. So that's the next thing coming up, dude. Other than that, I have a whole lot of grain. I had a bunch of projects that I was supposed to do over Christmas that all involved brewing, because I had some time off, right? Didn't get to do it. So now I've got at least 5 recipes worth of, ingredients sitting there just ready to go through the still. So I'm hoping to get back into that a whole lot soon. What do we got here? Yeah. I hear you, dude. I hear you. Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of distilling lately, and I think we're getting there. So, what? Yeah, we've given people 5 minutes to tune up, so let's just get stuck into it. The chat is moving a little bit quick for me to be able to keep up with everything. Sorry, guys. I am kind of crappy at talking and reading at the same time, so if I do miss something and you really want me to see it, just feel free to throw it out there again. But so essentially what happened is right before Christmas, our water turned to shit, and we didn't really know what was going on, but we lost pretty much all water pressure and completely all water pressure out to the shed. Randall, my man, and Ear Whiskey, good to see you guys. Good to see you guys here. Yeah, so it turned out we had a big ass leak underground somewhere. No sign of water, no like damage, no nothing. Just a whole lot of water coming in through the valve from the council, valve, the Toby out the front and going somewhere. Problem is our property's quite large, big ass driveway, concrete all over the place, and we couldn't find the damn thing. Long story short, lots of toing and froing and trying to fix things. And since then I've had like a dribble of water in the shed, so nowhere near enough to run the still. Yeah, it's kind of sucked. But now we've got a new mains line running from out at the curb, out on the driveway, just running above ground into the house, feeding the house. I've got absolutely no water in the shed still because the leak is somewhere connected to the shed. If I put water into the shed, then the leak carries on again. But what I can do is I've got a big ass hose and I'll run it from way on the other side of the property all the way into the shed, and that'll mean that I'll have water and I'll have enough water pressure to start distilling again. So yeah, looks like we should be able to get back into more standard stillet content pretty soon, I hope, regardless of whether or not we actually get the problem fixed. I've got a workaround. What do we got here? Thanks, man. You're doing a run today. 55 liters of Teddy Sad's fast fermenting vodka. Hope to hear ideas of a new version of Bastard's Ball. Oh, okay. Okay, so I've actually got that on the list. A few people asked, a few people have been asking over the last few months, and especially when I put this up, a few people wrote to me straight away and said, when are we doing an event? So I would absolutely love to do an event in New Zealand. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but the idea would essentially be to have an excuse to take the community that we've got, a virtual community here online, and allow people to get together in person, because that just makes friendship stronger, it makes bonds stronger, it makes the being able to change and share and cross promote ideas and concepts and wacky things that might be able to help the hobby or help each other. All of that gets accelerated, right? So I'd absolutely love to do it. Right now, I don't even have enough, I really don't have enough time even to be doing Stillet. But I am, because I love it, and I love I love hanging out with you guys, and I love distilling, and the video making and the video, the YouTube stuff is like a really fun challenge for me as well. In saying that, I don't want to bore you with the details yet, and honestly, I've got no idea what's going on, but the chances are there's going to be a pretty big change sort of in mine and my wife's personal life in terms of work coming up soon. And there is the potential for me to be able to free up some more time for Stillet, for Chase the Craft, whatever that looks like. And if that does happen, I think one of the first things I'd really like to do is get an event sorted out. Wellington is kind of where I'm thinking, because it's close, it's central for New Zealand. There's lots of, there's options there. Maybe a little out of Wellington. As to what that would be, I don't know. I really don't know. Just because we are making this public and we're going to be scrutinized on it and watched on it, we'd have to keep it pretty legit. There are ways that we can make it legit and still have all the fun we need to have, and I've been talking to customs about that. One of the ways to do that would be to run it as a competition to start with. And that would essentially give us a way to legally drink booze. So you'd enter the competition. Part of the contest fee would be to pay the excise tax on the product you're submitting. And then, there'd be a group of judges that would do that, but then whatever booze that's left over, as I understand it, I can't promise this, but as I understand it, after the competition's finished, the tax has been paid, so that booze is drinkable. Do you know what I mean? Reading between the lines there. So it would be a way to share things around. Hey, Dave, dude, you might be my very first super chat. Thinking about it. Yeah, I think so. Because I think when I was doing live streams before, I didn't have that option turned on. So thank you, man. I appreciate it. I thoroughly appreciate it. And yeah, thanks for the congrats on the 50K as well. Honestly, guys, like, okay, let's do this. 50K subs. This is bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. When I started this channel, which is pretty much 3 years ago now, I guess. Yeah, coming up, well, close to 3 years. I set a little. Basically, the idea was to commit to 52 videos in a year, a video a week, and just do them no matter what. Like if no one's watching the videos, do them and see what happens. And I set a goal of if I could get 500 subscribers in the first year, then I could call it a success and keep going. So the idea that we're at 50,000 now is yeah, it's pretty crazy, and that's all thanks to you guys. I completely and utterly appreciate the fact that people take time out of their day to tune in and watch a video, to comment, to get in touch with each other and help each other out. That's probably the most important thing to me, like the comment section underneath the videos and people talking back and forth, and then, you know, that sparking relationships for people to talk through email or Facebook or whatever it is. It's yeah, it's pretty crazy, guys. It really is. And the fact that it has grown this much means that I can start dreaming and thinking about the possibility of being able to take more time out of my week to dedicate to still it and still be able to support the family. That's a pretty interesting thought. And we're not there yet. We're not there where I can't just go full time yet. There'd have to be, you know, a bunch of other things to fall into place to support the family. But the prospect of that actually being a real thing at some point in time is pretty bonkers. And I'm sure you guys are like, you know, 2 or 3 videos a week or whatever too. Whoa, Randall with the 1999, dude. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, 50K, man. 2020 is looking good. It didn't get off to a good start, dude, because I haven't distilled a drop of booze, and we are, what, 2 months of the year's gone. So I've got some catch up to play, but I think we can do that, man. What do we got here? We made the limoncello after your video, and my wife loved it. Now encourages me to keep a supply going. Thanks, and I'm sorry, dude. But it's good, eh? That stuff's real good. Yeah, super delicious. Wow, thanks, guys. I really appreciate this. All of these comments coming in, and like I said, it really is. I feel lucky that it's. I feel lucky and honored, and it's an absolute pleasure that it's me doing it. But I feel like the community itself is what's supporting it, you know. And there's already a network of people out there. Yeah, so I think you guys know what I mean by when I say that. What do we got here? Living in a country that does not allow any kind of home distilling, I still find it interesting to watch what you're up to. Good job and thanks. Yeah, man, I hear what you're saying. So there's a lot of people that watch the channel that are maybe just whiskey or spirit or rum or liqueur enthusiasts or whatever it happens to be, and they just like knowing a little bit more about the process that goes into the product so they can appreciate it more on their end. You know, like if you have a general idea how to cook something and then someone serves you a meal, it allows you to appreciate it even more, if that makes sense, because you know what went into it. You know the blood, sweat, and tears that someone went through to serve that up for you. And it's the same for distilling. But that sucks, man. That really sucks. I really wish that more people were afforded the freedom that we have here in New Zealand. And just to be fair, to be open and honest about it, in New Zealand, it is for personal use only. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I on some levels, I agree that you have to not let people trade this stuff. You can see the problems that could come from it. But that's cool. Like if you want to sell it, go legit. And you know, open a proper distillery. I I keep flipping back and forth between thinking that this is actually possible for us to change this. And I feel like if we could change it in America first, then maybe that would flow onto the rest of the world. And I think there's a bigger opportunity to change it in America first, but it's a huge thing, man. I've been talking to a lot of people about it. I've been sort of getting feelings from a lot of people to see whether they think it's possible or not. There's been some really cool things in the community that have tried to promote change or to allow change. But the problem as I see it is that there's been nothing that's cohesive. There's nothing where everyone in the community gets together on one goal, and it's sort of promoted throughout the community. So I don't know, maybe that's something that the YouTubers and the podcasters and all that sort of stuff could help with. We did put a video out, the podcast out with Bearded and Board and George. At the bottom of that podcast, there is a link to an email list. And the only thing that email list will be used for is to let people know what we as a collective are going to try and do about it and when we're going to try and do it. Because when we do it, the key to the success is to get everyone to jump on board with it. And that might be as little as, we put a video up and we need everyone to go to that video that day, like it, subscribe, comment, push it up in the algorithm on YouTube and just sort of try and get the message. That it might be that simple, it might not be putting your name on we don't know what it is yet. But if you do want to be part of that and you do want to try and, contribute to change, that's all I've got for you at the moment. Sign up for that thing. And yeah, if you can't find it on the podcast, just flick me an email, jesse@chasethecraft.com, or go through the website, chasethecraft.com. Get in touch with me and I'll let you know where it is. Anyway, moving on. Thank you, my man. Another one of the OG crew. Jesse opens a distillery. Okay. So here's the thing, man. Like I've always said I don't want to open a distillery, and that is simply because I love this hobby and I don't want it to turn into a job. I really don't. I don't want it to turn into a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly grind to get product out for other people. That's not where my heart lies in this stuff. In saying that, what I do like doing is talking to people, finding knowledge somewhere else, and repackaging it for other people to have, getting people together. The community side of it is what really spins my wheels. And if we happen to have a premise that was licensed and it was completely legal to distill on with multiple people and multiple stills and so on and so forth, that might be a different story. But like I said, we're a wee way off from that yet. Oh dear, I am so behind on the comments, guys. Where are we? All right, something a little lighthearted. Thank you for the comic relief, dude. Well, not comic, but you know what I mean. Yes, hell yes. My passion for spirits is whiskey, and my passion in whiskey is Islay. That's my jam. That's what I love. I don't know why. I can't explain it. It's just personally what I enjoy drinking. And there's something romantic about it too. I can't quite put my finger on why or how, but there is just something romantic about it. So yes, hell yes, I'm a Lafroig friend. Will I be experimenting with peat? I have done one peated thing so far, which was a peated Irish whiskey inspired by Connemara. I have 25 kilos of New Zealand grown, New Zealand malted, New Zealand peated barley sitting over there in the shed ready to go. So that's going to be one of the things that comes up real quick. And when I say New Zealand peated, it's literally peat dug out of the ground in New Zealand and smoked, that's cool to me. That's very cool. Gladfields, which I know it's no secret that they hooked me up, and I test a few things for them and let people know that they've got a new product like this. They sent it through to me, so I want to get that done. I want to get that going real quick. Yes, nice, dude. I love that UJSSM stuff. I've still only made the one batch, I think it was 5 generations, and yeah. It's awesome. It's easy. I gotta say, it doesn't quite stand up to the stuff that I've made all grain. In saying that, though, I've had a lot more experience since, so it could be that. Oh my word, I'm missing. Oh dear, what's going on here? I've screwed up. Oh no, there we go. Thank you, Dan. Towards my next bottle. Congrats on 50K. So I've got a little running joke going on with the wife, and it's actually right. When I hit 10K, I bought this bottle here. Awesome stuff, by the way. Speaking of peated, it's Isla, but not peated. And I literally wrote, it's come off now, but I wrote boom 10K on it. So I think I'm going to have to buy another bottle, something else that sort of means something to me, and store it, you know, keep it around for memento's sake for 50K. So thanks, man. That is, I'll actually literally use it for that. I don't know what I'm going to buy yet. Maybe a, what haven't I had? Let's face it, it's probably going to be Isla. I don't know. Feel free to throw some suggestions out, guys. Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking, Randall. I thought you were talking about the the Brook Laddie. Yeah, it is very good. The UJSSM, dude. I totally agree. Now, this to me is interesting. I've had multiple people get in touch with me and say I need to try this, and I think we're going to have to, right? For those of you that don't know, it's essentially Irish moonshine. That's basically what it is, and it sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. So I think we might have to get onto that. All right, so let me cross off the things we've talked about. Someone else asked me too, what's going on with it almost looks like still it's turned into a travel channel lately with all the stuff coming from Texas. So no, dude, not at all. The idea was the guys at the Whiskey Vault / Whiskey Tribe invited me to go over for their, well, actually backing up, I was already in America with on a family holiday. I asked the guys at the Whiskey Tribe and the Whiskey Vault if I could go visit them and shoot some content. They were all for it, so I went and did that. I came home, and then as soon as I got home, they asked me to go back for their event. And there was going to be so many people in the Whiskey Tube scene there, and it was just such a big opportunity for me to go and do it that I decided that if I could get there, I would do it. And the way I justified it was reaching out to all the distilleries in Texas to see, if they'd be keen to meet up and to shoot some content for you guys, basically, to give you an insight through to the commercial world. So it's not that I necessarily want to be a travel channel at all. It's just that the opportunity presented itself, and I managed to, in a week, I got all of that content pretty much from Texas was in a week, which was absolutely phenomenal. And it worked out really well that because I couldn't distill here at home, I had all that stuff in the can that I could edit and put out. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel on that one now. I think I've got one more episode from Texas to come out, which is good because now I can get back to distilling, right? In saying that, I think it's really cool for us as home distillers to be able to see what the commercial world is doing and steal ideas from them, essentially, and also see what ideas from the home distilling world are getting pushed through to the commercial world, which is also really, really interesting. For example, Ironroot, went to Ironroots, and I asked their opinions on a bunch of different things that I thought were crazy, wacky, out there ideas. And it turns out that they could lead me to the barrel where they had tested exactly the same thing and given me a sample of it. So it's pretty interesting to see people doing that in the commercial world, right? I think the boys should come down from the vault and see how you do things. Dude, I'd be totally open to that. I've actually been talking to a few different random YouTubers from different parts of the world. Turns out that New Zealand is pretty high on the, love to visit it list. So we might get some people coming here. That'd be pretty cool. And if we can, if we could set up an event and tie it in and try and get a few, I don't know, maybe we can get people to come over as guest speakers or to share samples, or I don't know. It's definitely a possibility, dude. And I love the idea. I love New Zealand. I love distilling. So if I can get people from overseas to come to New Zealand and hang out and, enjoy both of those things at the same time, I'm all on board. Yes, dude. Yes. So I know I asked about this a while ago on the email list and a few other places. By the way, guys, another thing that, sorry, let me finish this first. Yes, I am still thinking about it. It's just a time thing, man. I'm not sure if you were here when I was talking about it before. It's basically, I really don't have time. Still it's sort of 20 to 25 hours a week normally, and I'm working sort of 40 to 50 hours a week as well. And we've got the three kids under 5 or 5 and under now. So I'm trying to figure out how to free up some more space to be able to do more stuff. And when I do have more time for Still It, the first thing will probably happen is, go to 2 videos a week would be awesome. And then the second thing would probably be looking at something just like that. So keep in touch. Now, to lead on from that, if you do want information about any of these sort of things, if you want to, not wait until some random video where I mention it, or, be worried about missing the video, if you go to chasercraft.com and scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, there's a little place to put your email address in, and that will give you any information that's coming up. Or any, sort of releases or whatever for Still, I'll put it there. And saying that too, I've had a bunch of people contacting me say that the YouTube algorithm is screwing them and won't recommend my videos to them or won't give them a notification. Sorry, guys, there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. There is a few things you can do about it. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have that bell notification rung. And make sure you turn notifications on for YouTube as well, if you want them. Obviously, don't, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying for those of you that are not getting the notifications, that's what you should do. If you want to completely take the YouTube algorithm out of the equation, then sign up for that newsletter as well. Normally about 2 times a month, I'll put a email out sort of summarizing everything I've done in that last month. So there's no way you can miss something. All right, what's next? Hey, my man. One of the guys I got to hang with in Texas. Thank you, dude. I thoroughly appreciate it. Oh, by the way, this guy has his own YouTube channel too, guys, so you can go and check him out. He's more of, sort of tasting and appreciation, but still whiskey stuff, so that's cool. Speaking of whiskey stuff, guys, if you are, into the whiskey tube thing and you follow along some of the other guys, you'll know that coins, quote unquote challenge coins, are a thing. I finally got these in a little while ago. I think it was last week maybe, and I've yet to get around to actually getting them out. But if it is something that you'd be into, I do have them. They are individually numbered, and they will be going up on the store sometime soon. Unfortunately, I don't know if you can see that, but wait, what? 2019? Yeah, they're that late. But a little Easter egg there for the guys that have been around since the very beginning on the channel. Yeah, so if you want information about those, feel free to get in touch with me, or they'll be going up on the website soon. All right. What else we got here? What do we got here? Damn shame it wasn't legalized across the states. Yeah, dude. Like, I'll be honest with you. There is definitely an incentive for me and for anyone else in the space to be able to get this legalized. At the same time, it's just a straight up. I think it would be good for the hobby if we can get people around the world to openly talk about it without having to hide. That accelerates ingenuity, it accelerates growth, it accelerates cross-pollination of ideas. There's just, from our point of view, there's almost nothing bad about it. So yeah. Yeah, so a bunch of people have been asking me about this as well. Like, I am considering going back to the Bastards Ball again. One of the people was asking, we'll go to this next. One of the other guys emailed me and asked, why am I going to Texas so much, and why don't I go to other places around the world? I would love to, man. I'd love to go and talk to all sorts of people about this hobby and basically try and gather up information from all corners of the globe. It just happened, like I explained earlier, that I had 2 opportunities to go to Texas, and it just worked out. And there happened to be a bunch of distillers, commercial distillers there that are new in the game and open to talking to someone like me. If I rolled up at Lefroy, it's not going to happen, you know. So I'd love to go to other places as well. I just need to find an opportunity to get there and kind of a way to justify spending the coin on the trip and loss of wages and leaving my wife at home and all that sort of stuff. But it's definitely something I want to get, you know, that don't want to get into it. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one, but thanks, Lindsay. I'll get them up soon, dude, and I'll flick it out in the email when it goes up. The thing that's holding me up is I'm trying to figure out how to let people request a certain number and then request a backup, you know, that sort of thing when it doesn't. I don't want to get into the situation where I've got to email back and forth 15 times to, you know, find a coin for them. So yeah, I'll get onto that pretty soon though. Yes, dude. So for those of you that don't know, B&B is Bearded and Bored. He is literally my oldest YouTube buddy. We started our channels at the same time. It was awesome to be able to bounce ideas off him. He hasn't been putting out a lot of videos lately, so I think you should all probably jump over onto his channel and bitch and moan about it until he puts another one out. Can't find the vid of the Whiskey Tribe Vault tasting samples that you sent them. Was it positive? Depends how you look at positive, dude. Like, I knew going into it that I was not going to impress them. There was no way how, like, these guys drink the best whiskey on the face of the planet regularly. And I was a totally new distiller with really new products. I think both of those things together, you know, I was underexperienced, still am underexperienced comparing to world-class whiskeys. And the stuff that I was sending them was 6 months old or a year old. In saying that, they said nice things about it being, yeah, this is young whiskey. This is what whiskey tastes like when it's young. So yeah, that video went up on their channel, and then I did another video with them on Distiller on my channel the second time I went to visit them, and took a bunch of samples and we did a blend together. So you might want to check that one out as well. So this is interesting, dude. And the thing is, I can't. And the reason is because I want to advocate for legalization. And because it's legal here in New Zealand, and because it is, how do I put this? Because it's legal here, and because I want to promote how it became legal here, I need to promote good relationships between me and the customs guys going forward. So, in other words, I'm never going to make anything like the Moonshiners channel. Will we push the boundaries? Yeah, of course. Will we find workarounds and loopholes? Hell yeah. Will we have a whole lot of fun and enjoy it? Yeah, we will. But I'm never going to advocate for straight up doing illegal things outright. This is not my jam. Or I can't let it be my jam, if that makes sense. And it's the same here in New Zealand too. Like that's why I haven't got videos of me taking my products to a bunch of friends and letting them taste it and give me feedback on it. I'd love to do that. That would be awesome. I'd love to be able to do blinds and taste tests and perception tests and all of those sort of things with random people that I know. But technically it's for personal use only, and I can't do that. Another reason why, having a licensed premise would be good too. Yeah, I hear you, dude. I totally hear you. I think there's a few reasons that it's illegal in America still. I think the biggest and the main one is that it's illegal because it was illegal and it is illegal. And that's a big ass stone to get enough momentum to start changing. So I think there is small pushback here and there for it. It's just that from what I understand of it, and I don't understand it at all, is that the American system takes a shitload of people and a shitload of money to change anything. Lobbyists, those sort of things. And the biggest thing is that there's just not enough public outcry for it. So I think that's the first thing we need to change. I think that what would happen is if you legalize this, people would spend more money on it, and the government would actually take more tax revenue on it. simply based on what we saw on the beer brewing world, right? The home brewers buy more commercial beer in dollar values, not in quantity values, than non-brewers, because they want to try their favorite, commercial example next to their own stuff when they're trying to clone it or whatever. And I think exactly the same thing would happen in the spirits world. And even from a Puritan point of view, that's got to be a good thing, right? There's people spending more money on less booze, which means they're doing it because it's a hobby and it's an enjoyment. They're not just getting smashed. The government gets their cut. The commercial world gets their cut. Albeit we'd be taking money out of the pockets of the big guys and putting it in the pockets of the small guys. That's a good thing. So, hey, here he is. All right, everyone, give Bearded and Board some shit and tell him to get some more YouTube videos out there. We were talking about you before you turned up, I think, dude, or maybe you heard that. But yeah. Yes, we could do this sort of thing, dude. Yeah, we totally could. And that is something I looked into in the past. To be honest, in those sort of situations, I mean, it's not really so much about my stuff. It'll be about your stuff, about everyone that can come along and join in. The dream for something like that would be to get, like the guys from Iron Root, because they're so, just the way they think is out there and very similar to home distillers or Ty from Andalusia. The dream would be able to get someone like that here, along with a couple of New Zealand commercial distillers, along with maybe a couple of the guys that, help me learn how to distill from the home distilling community, create a panel, have a competition like that, and then have a chill session, maybe I don't know. Yeah, but that sort of thing would be what I would love to do. Yeah, nice to see people jumping on your back, dude. I know he is actually working hard on it. I'm just having some fun at his expense, guys. And as I understand it, you've got a bunch of things in the works, right, man? So they should be coming out soon, I think. Yeah, I agree, dude. Yep, homebrew and weed. it's the same thing. Yeah, why not distilling as well? I really think, why not distilling as well? I think the thing with weed is that it had such a huge pushback. It had a groundswell movement from the public up level, and then politicians and people in quote unquote power started to see how much people cared about it, and then they either come out of the closet. They always thought that but they could never say it in a professional setting because it would be political suicide, or they just do what they think is going to get them their pockets lined, or votes for themselves. But either way, it gets you the result you want, right? So yeah, Australia representing. Nice to see you, man. I don't know how many people know this, but I was actually born in Australia. I was born in Cairns, and I moved here when I was about 1. So I get to claim New Zealand or Australian rights, one way or the other, I guess. Yeah, we could do that. They could do it that way, dude. I guess that could turn into like a revenuing thing for them, which could be, could be advantageous. I think in some ways that would play into the hands of it's dangerous and horrible and you shouldn't do it. But if you must do it, we'll test you. So there's kind of a little bit of a stigma with that. I don't know. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear what you guys say. George just does what George does, and yeah, that's about all there is to it. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Who would have guessed 20, 30 years ago that it would be legal, like pot would be legal, but you couldn't make your own booze at home? That pot would go legal first. It's it's kind of crazy. All right, guys. I'm at about the end of the list of questions I've got here. I do need to give an update for the Patreons. I'll do that over on Patreon as well. But if there is any other specific questions, feel free to shout them out. You like your plumbing license, Randall? Dude, why aren't you in New Zealand? You could have helped me the hell out over the last few months. All right, guys. So Patreon. Patreon, the tiers have been a little bit jacked up for a while because one of the things I had there for people that were on the further up tiers was a monthly hangout or a monthly Skype just between the Patreons, and that just has never worked because of time differences. The idea was to try and get everyone together and push that community thing. Sorry, we've got a plane going overhead right now, guys. But yeah, time difference has just never worked, and honestly, I haven't even tried to organize it for months. So that's a little bit ridiculous that it's even on there. I need to get those taken down, and I do have a few things for the patrons coming up soon. But if there's anything that you would like to see there, let me know. Basically, Alembic. Let me see. Alembic pots don't get much love yet. Seem to be fairly popular among home distillers. Any chance of you visiting them on Still It? Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. I've actually been thinking lately that maybe what I should do is, even though it's not necessarily what I want to run, maybe I should start trying to get my hands on equipment that's easy for everyone else to get, that, how do I put it? That's easily accessible worldwide. Like the T500, for example. Like, get a T500 and have a play with it, do a review, advantages, disadvantages, and then, put it out there for everyone to see. So maybe that's something that we could do as well on Alembic pot. Obviously, the problem being it gets pretty expensive. I guess I could buy them, review them, do affiliate links for them to try and make some money back and then sell them. I could do something like that. I'm interested in them as well, dude. I really am. I built my CCVM / pot still with sort of utility and, I guess, convenience of being able to switch between things and do a lot of things in mind. But I've moved beyond that, right? I did that on an absolute shoestring, and now I do have a little bit of budget to throw it at the channel. So yeah, I'm down. Oh yeah, sorry. A bunch of people emailed me about this as well. The Genio. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. I've run the Genio a couple of times for them, and there was a few accusations too of not being totally honest about it. It's just that there wasn't really much to say. So basically, the Genio guys sent me the still for free. I don't have to do it. They wanted me to try it. They wanted feedback on it, and they wanted me to basically to help get it out there. Obviously, that's what they wanted out of it. And then the idea was that if I liked it and if I wanted to run with it, then I could do sales work for them in Australasia. Idea being that I would, talk to anyone that's interested, give them the pros and the cons, and then the still would get sent direct from Poland. So it's still here. Sorry guys, I can't turn the thing around, the computer around. It's a pain in the ass. So it's all hooked up, but it's still sitting there. I've used it twice here, and I've used it twice somewhere else. I do think that it's a capable machine. The problem is that every person that's contacted me and asked whether, what it's like, is, in my heart of hearts, I know that I can't recommend that machine to them. The reason being is that there's just a cheaper tool to get a similar result for what they want to do. I think there is a position for it. There's a place for it, and there's a certain person that it would be advantageous for. I haven't run across that person yet. And my thoughts on it is essentially, I don't like it for whiskey. I don't like it running in quote unquote pot still mode. It compresses the heads regardless and takes the heads off and then runs through in pot mode. And the problem is that I like, in terms of flavor, not in terms of ABV or anything, but I like having, fours, heads, and then through hearts and this gradual swing so that you can take things from little pieces on that curve and decide what you like, where the Genio sort of does that. And it kills that subtlety off. I don't like it for whiskey. In saying that, it seems very capable for reflux, for vodka, for gin, those sort of things. But the money you spend on it, you have to be into the geekery of the automation, or you have to like, quote unquote, saving time, which it kind of does for you as well. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. I will still be using it. One of the things I've got over there is a huge version. I think I've got 100 kilos of sugar. Well, it's not huge, but it's large, sort of based on the FFV. So I'm going to be running that soon, hopefully. Why are you no show? There we go. Yeah, basically that's my thoughts on it, dude. Like if you were in a commercial setting where you just needed to pump out really consistent, high ABV product relatively quickly, then yeah. But yeah, it's spending the amount of money that it costs to buy, unless you're the sort of person that's just short on time, you don't want to faff around making your own still, you're not happy with the other stills that you can get in your area, and you really want to make a decent amount of high ABV, high quality, consistent vodka or neutral, basically, to then turn into gin or liqueurs or whatever. I'm not saying it's horrible, but I'm just saying there's better options out there. Hey, yeah. Okay, dude. There's a bunch of people I need to visit in Ireland, and I would love to come and talk to some Irish and then Scottish distilleries. And if I'm in the area, I might be able to do both. I do have some contacts there. The problem is that a lot of the distilleries over there they're so big and they're so well established that there's nothing in it for them to have me come there, right? If you're a new and upcoming distillery, getting in front of 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people is huge, right? But for Lafroig, it means nothing. They don't care. But I hear there's a lot of craft gin distilleries. That might work. That'd be pretty cool. In any case, thanks a bunch, dude. I thoroughly appreciate the super chat. And yeah, there's a few people trying to get me to Ireland. So maybe one day it'll happen, dude. If it does, anywhere I go, I'll put it out on the channel. I'll put it out on the newsletter beforehand. So if there is people in the area, we can try and set up even if it's just to hang out in a bar, like you say, dude, in your bar, hang out and have a dram, have a pint, and talk some shit would be pretty cool. I'm assuming you're talking about that in terms of the Genio. For me, yes, it does. But it would be horribly arrogant of me to assume that it would do that for other people as well. People are into this hobby for totally different reasons. They like different things. They're into, vastly different portions of geekery that go into the hobby. So for some people, I've talked to people like for example, that are they're coders. That's what they do. The thought of getting a machine like this and then being able to get into the brains of it and tinker with it is pretty awesome for them. Or being able to get a machine like this and hook other things up to it is awesome for them. Some people, they just love the liqueur side of things. So the actual distilling is fun for them, but they'd rather just get that product and then start making the liqueurs and messing around with ratios and blending and blah, 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 blah. So it's different things for different people, man. And I guess that's what I was getting at before, right? Is that the people that I've talked to so far that were semi-interested in it, when you talk to them for a little bit longer, you realize that this isn't going to give them more enjoyment in the hobby, which is, fair enough. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'd actually been looking and hoping to be able to get my hands on a small-ish sort of 5 to 15 liters X sherry, bourbon, anything, X something barrel, so like a second-hand barrel. And the reason for that is I didn't want a small new make barrel, a small new oak barrel, because I wanted to be able to age in it for a decent amount of time. And I was actually hoping to get a video out for the 50K thing. And then a couple of videos took off and I got to 50K a whole lot faster, and I still haven't got the barrel yet. So yes, I do want to try barrels. I'm guessing that's probably what you're alluding to. Problem is that full-size barrels, I'm just never going to fill one. It's just too big. The little teeny tiny ones, they're great and all, but I like to age things for a little bit longer. So I'm really looking for, like a 10 liter export barrel would be my dream. So if anyone has any ideas on where I could track one of those down, please get in touch. All right, guys, I think think we might be wrapping up. If anyone's got, I'll give you another 5 minutes to get some questions in quickly, or if I've missed something, you know, the chat's been rolling past fairly quickly. So if I have missed one of your questions, feel free to throw it out there again. Give you 5 minutes to get in on it. And in the meantime, I'll run through a few of the other projects I've got going on at the moment. One of which is I've always been wonderfully intrigued at the possibilities of different flavors coming from different base malts. And in the homebrewing world, there's information all over the place for this, but there's not a lot in the distilling world. So I've got 3 different base malts, and I want to run them 100% just that, you know, full mash distillation, just that, and then sort of start putting them next to each other. And the idea is to eventually build up a flavor library of all sorts of different things. So base malts, specialty malts, yeast, fermentation temperature, all of those sort of things, and what happens specifically in distillation. I would love that to turn into a community project and get you guys involved as well. So the idea is that we, you know, put a shout out that for the next 3 months or whatever it is we're working on base malt, everyone get their answers in, and we'll you know, pull the results so that everyone's got access to them. I thought that'd be kind of a cool idea. I've also got the large FFV that I've changed out a bit for a couple of different grains instead of the wheat brand. What else have we got over there? We also have the peat, big old thing of peat. And oh yes, I want to try specialty malt and something. So I want to try some crystal and some chocolate malt, which I know a couple of you guys have done before. So yeah, those are the things coming up in the next few months. I am always open to suggestions though, so feel free to get in touch and let me know. Right. Yeah, dude, I think did you email me about that a couple of days ago? I think that was you, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so. I do need to try rye for sure. Thanks, man. I thoroughly appreciate it. I really do. It's crazy, and it is 100% because of you guys. That's all there is to it. Like, yeah, it's an awesome community that we have, and it's awesome being able to share ideas and bounce things off each other, and to share the failures too, which, to be fair, is sometimes more important. Oh, right. You mean like not edited, dude? Like just literally an 8-hour video? Is that what you mean? That's not going to work as a video. It could potentially work as a live stream if I can figure out a way to, you know, maybe I get someone to moderate the questions for me, and we just literally live stream for 8 hours. We could potentially do that, I guess. Sounds a little bit boring for you guys, for me. But yeah, I do need to run the CCVM in CCVM mode more. I've done that. That's actually one of the few things that I've done off camera for Still It. I think I did 2 runs with the CCVM trying to figure out, you know, tweak a few things, and I made the blueberry liqueur, which is sitting just over here. I've made that off camera a couple of times, but literally everything else has been on camera. I've made it, so yeah. Yeah. So this is a cool idea too, man. A bunch of people have been trying to talk me into smoking my own stuff. Actually, a bunch of people have been trying to talk me into growing my own barley to malt and then smoke, which is, dude, no. I just can't. But I do have a little smoker now. I've also got a smoke generator. I think the guys at Andalusia gave me some mesquite smoked. Was it mesquite? Can't remember. It was nice though. There is definitely a difference between wood and peat, and wood smoked grain, I think you have to be kind of subtle with it. You got to be restrained with it. You can't just make a smoke bomb. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's personal preference, right? Like if you're into that, then all for it. Go for it. The Manuka I made is 100% smoked Manuka from Gladfields. And the smoke is actually coming back the longer it sits, and it is too much. It needs to be cut down with something else. Whereas peat, you can throw as much peat at me as you want, and I will take more. Don't know about the New Zealand peat yet. That might taste totally different. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on it. Be restrained with the wood smoke stuff and have at it with the peat. But it's personal preference, dude. Like whatever works for you. And I really think you should try it. Sounds like a hell of a lot of fun. And it's more satisfying, right? The more things you can do yourself, somehow it just makes it more enjoyable to drink. Not necessarily taste better, but more enjoyable. Sorry, I did forget too. One of the guys that emailed asked about the still setup, and seeing as you guys haven't seen the still for a while, has the still setup changed? Am I doing anything differently? And the answer is no. It's not that I've been using the still and I just haven't shown you guys. It's just that I haven't been able to use the still. So I still have the 50-liter boiler, the CCBM on top of it. I've got the 3 4-inch bubble plates that sit underneath that if I want it. I have the little mini tiny Chinese pot still for gins and stuff like that. I have the claw hammer pot still and the claw hammer plated still. I like both of them, but I haven't really used the plated still yet. I've just cleaned it. And I have the Genio. But I think I will look at getting in some of the, like a T500 with a pot lid, just to play with it, use it for, properly use it and do a review on it and things like that. So if there's anything else you want me to look at, let me know. Dude. Was there supposed to be something in there, Randall? And you already sent me one of these, dude. You got to stop. YouTube's the one that's winning here. But I appreciate it, man. I thoroughly appreciate it. Thank you, dude. And to everyone else, if I did miss a super chat for anyone, I am horribly, horribly sorry. This is the first time I've really streamed like this. So yeah, if I did miss one, I apologize, guys. Thumper. All right. People are going to hate me for this, but in some ways I kind of don't see the point in a Thumper. I can totally see the point in it, in almost as not temperature control, but being able to absorb some of the changes in temperature when you're running with fire or something like that. I think it could also be interesting to put flavorings into, or like spent grain or whatever. You can throw other things in there and not have them in a column. But as a straight distillation technique, I would rather just use a plate. In saying that, I've never tried a Thumper, which is kind of hypocritical of me because I try to tell people not to do that. But so long story short, yes, I would 100% try one. It's just not high on my list of exciting things to try, if that makes sense. Yes, dude. Yes, I do. So sorry, when I was talking about the stuff I had before, I didn't mention that sort of thing. So I've got claw hammers, electric pot. I don't have the brains with it because when they sent it to me, they didn't have. I don't think the 240 one was in stock or something. There was an issue there. I can't remember exactly what it was. I love the freaking thing, man. It's basically a fancy ass version of a brew in a bag setup. Big stainless pot, big stainless bag that lifts up and sort of slots in so it stays up and can drip out. I love them, man. I love them. I've used the Grainfather with other people. I've used the Robo Brew with other people. I have not used the Brewzilla. But yeah, the reason I don't have a one of the standard ones is that they're generally just too small. Like I really want to get at least 50 liters out of a mash, and often if I'm doing all grain, it's for whiskey, and really I'd like to be able to get 100 or 200 liters of wash to be able to make it sort of worth the time, if that makes sense. So I would like to know of options for bigger electric breweries like that. That'd be cool for sure. But yeah, I think they're great, man. I think that, and from the beer point of view, I know there was a bit of a stigma about them when they first came out, especially the bag ones. But yeah, no, those things can make awesome beer. Maybe slightly less consistent beer in terms of being able to make exactly the same thing again than like a full 3-vessel system, but awesome. Yeah, there you go, dude. They will definitely make you a good beer. Yeah. That's what I was getting at before, man. I think that would be fun to use it, almost like a gin basket essentially, but you could have it in the liquid or you can have it in the vapor, either or. I agree. I think it'd be fun from that point of view. unmalted grains, either partial or whole mash. So first of all, thanks a bunch for the super chat, dude. I thoroughly appreciate that. Yeah, hell yeah. Why not, man? So the only time I've actually used them was for the peated Irish, and I used unmalted barley, and that was feed grade unmalted barley. It was flaked barley and some oats, if I remember correctly. Obviously, I'm guessing everyone here knows this, but just in case there's someone that doesn't, you need to get enzymes into those things, and you need to make sure that the starch is gelatinized before you mash as well. So either the reason I bought flaked barley, for example, is that it is quote unquote gelatinized. I have questions if it's done properly and fully, but still, if they're not flaked or anything like that beforehand, then you need to boil them or at least heat them, excuse me, to a pretty solid temperature. Depending on the grain, it's different, or the whatever it is, it's different temperatures. But that's why people boil corn, for example, before they make bourbon. I definitely think that the malting process changes the flavor 100%. That's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just that it's different. So it's a different tool. Like, it's a different spice for you to use, if that makes sense. I love Irish whiskey for that reason. For a long time, I thought Irish whiskey was boring and there was nothing to it. That's because I was drinking crap Irish whiskey. Now that I know biscuit is a contentious word for the whiskey tribe people around here, but that biscuity, buttery flavor that you get from unmalted barley, I love it. And that makes me want to mess around with malted versus unmalted, the same grain one way or the other for other things as well. And maybe that's another thing that we could do, if we can get this, if I can figure out how to get people to submit their results from certain experiments. Maybe that's another thing that we could do as a group. We could all get together and figure out what it is. My thoughts on using bottled enzymes versus, malted barley for converting the starches in unmalted grains. I don't feel strongly one way or the other about it, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't think objectively there's a difference much between the two. I think romantically or traditionally, if that's important to you, and there's nothing wrong with that being important to you, that then using, barley instead is good as well. Whoops, wrong one. Like adding flaked rye to UJSSM. Oh yeah, right, yeah. It's 11:30 in the AM, dude, and I need to go and make whiskey. Make well, I guess it is kind of. Oh, god damn it, the place just turned to shit. And it's biscuit, dude. Totally biscuit. All right. Hi, guys. Is 3 kilowatt okay for a 3-inch still, about 8 gallons? Okay. Borderline, dude. I haven't used a 3 kilowatt still. I know for my 4-inch one, that 4 kilowatts it's only just enough. I mean, the thing is too, that if you can have more, like for example, if you could get yourself 6, then you can heat up quicker and get to you can get up and running more quickly, if that makes sense. But yeah. So actually, guys, nice to see you, Rex. I won't just take the mickey out of you. Thanks for showing up, dude. I appreciate it. Boil the shit out of corn and it sucks. Yeah, dude. Oh my God, really? Everyone's wanting me to do a shot of whiskey. How about we sample some things, maybe? Yeah. Sticky corn is no fun, dude. There's no bueno. A lot of people say just embrace it. But let's face it, at the end of the day, it's a pain in the ass. Things like a cereal mash can help that a whole lot. So that's adding, you sacrifice some of your barley at the beginning. So you put it in there and heat it up with the corn, and that keeps it thinner as it goes. So the enzymes start to work when they hit the zone where they work at. They break down some of the gooiness essentially. And then obviously they'll get denatured as you heat up to the point of full gelatinization for that starch, but they've already done their job, and you've got enough barley off on the wings to put in to actually use the enzymes to break it down during the mash. So that's one way to deal with it. And another reason why bottled enzymes are great too, because you can do exactly the same thing for that. Dude, commitment. That's awesome, man. Hello from South Africa, dude. And thanks for being up at a silly time of the day. Oh, actually, that's a good point, dude. That is, yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, man. There was a few people that couldn't make it. To be honest, I didn't do the best of jobs letting everyone know exactly what was going to happen, because we didn't really know what was going to happen until it happened, if that makes sense. But yeah, Texas is fast turned into my spiritual home, and I don't mean that in a religious way. I mean that in a spirits way. There's just something about Texas. I'm sure I'll feel this way when I go to other places too, and I think especially Scotland and Ireland, because there's so many similarities with New Zealand. But I had no idea that Texas was going to feel so comfortable and so much like home to me instantly. So I'll be back, man. I'll be back for sure. Yeah, how cool is that? We're literally worldwide, man. And it's pretty freaking cool to have a group of people that can share ideas and balance off each other from literally all the way around the world. So yeah, I will be trying to think of different ways to be able to let you guys sort of interact with each other a little bit more. If you don't know, there is a Facebook group, Chasers of the Craft. And if you want to sign up there, it's we're purposely kind of keeping that group. We're not stopping it from growing, but we're also not promoting it heavily, because we want the people to be there, to actually want to be there, and to actually want to help each other and not just be trolls, essentially. So, obviously you guys are here because you're exactly the sort of person we wouldn't put on there. So that's what I'm telling you guys now, that it exists. So if you're not joined up yet and you want to be able to hang out with other chasers, then that's probably the place to do it right now. So this dude, I didn't see you in the chat earlier on, so maybe you missed it, but I would love to be able to do this sort of stuff. Problem is that this is our home, and my wife's here alone a whole lot, and that, just having lots of random people show up at the place, even though I actually know most of you guys, it's just, it's not quite kosher for her. So it's not cool. It's a little bit rude for me to do that to her, if that makes sense. Which is part of the reason that getting a location somewhere that we can that I could essentially turn it into Chase the Craft headquarters would be pretty cool. And I'll be honest with you, that's a long way off yet, but it is something that I'm more and more thinking of working towards, because that'd be awesome, right? It'd be so cool to be able to just be like, yo, here I am on the map. If you're coming past here, let me know, and I'll let you know when I'm going to be around. That'd be dope. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see, guys. We'll see. The next few months are going to be interesting for me, and then hopefully after that I'll have some more answers on questions like that. But yeah, I agree. It would be pretty cool. Which questions, dude? Have I missed something? Oh, no, it's not. But that could be fun. That could be really fun. All right, guys. I think we're going to wrap this up. We've been going for a little over an hour. I've probably overstayed my welcome a little bit. Thanks a bunch for being part of this, guys. Thanks for doing this more. What do you guys think of this? Do you think we should try and do this a little bit more regularly and hang out a little bit more? I could look at potentially seeing if we could get other people to call in as well for you, if there's certain people you'd like to talk to. I don't know. To be honest, we tried this a little while back. I think it was about 1.5 years ago. I tried live streaming a little bit, and to be honest, it actually hurt the channel. It made the channel decline seriously in numbers. And I think I've kind of got that figured out why it happened and how to get around that. So if you want to give it another stab, let me know. Cool. All right. So thanks a bunch, guys. Oh, don't be sorry, dude. Don't be sorry. That's a good problem to have. Customers come first, my man. Okay, it looks like some of you, at least some of you guys are kind of keen to do this again. So we'll have a look at it. We'll see what we can figure out. I think this sort of time is good because it's Sunday for me and Saturday for most other people around the world. So it at least gives people the option of getting here. It's not like during a middle of a workday or really late night before another workday, for example. So yeah, we could look at doing this sort of time again, and maybe we can have a look at getting some guests in too. I'll see how that'll work out. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much for getting the channel to 50K. That's absolutely bonkers. I thoroughly appreciate it. And we'll see you next time, guys. All right. See you, team. Have a kick-ass week. And I'll catch you on Friday night with another video. See ya. No.